Alright guys, we're going to have a little heart-to-heart today because most people that are going to talk to you about a budget are going to tell you cut and dry, this is what you need to do. You need to cut out all of this, you need to save this money, you need to have this much in groceries, you need to have this much in insurance, and that's not going to work for you. I owned a nutrition shop for about 4 years, and then I owned a gym for almost 10 years. And what I found was the people that lost weight, gained muscle, did what they actually set out to do, did so when they were on a plan that worked for them. There was never a plan that was just cookie cutter for everyone, and actually for people who followed other people's plans that were developed specifically for those other people did worse. They actually felt worse about themselves because they couldn't keep up. So on this short video today, we're going to talk about a budget for your personality, and I promise you this is going to be a game changer for you. And for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Nolan Govea, or Professor G as my students call me. I'm a professor and I specialize in personal finance. On this channel I do all the research so that you don't have to. Let's talk about budgets. So the first type of budget is for the every dollar tracker. This is somebody who might be a little more type A or really wants to know exactly where every dollar is at all times. Home edit people, I'm looking at you. Now, just from that explanation, there are going to be some of you that say, wow, that sounds like jail. This is the type of budgeting that my wife and I do. We don't see it as a thing that confines us or constricts us. This is actually a very, very big release on our mental stress because at any point, we know exactly how much money we have, and when we make purchases and things, we understand that there is money there for that specifically. So instead of us freaking out like, where are we gonna get the money for this, or can we afford this, we know for a fact that, okay, there's $100 in this fund, so if we need to buy this $60 purchase, cool, we will take that $60 away from the fund. Now we have $40 in there left, and we're happy with our purchase. We don't have to worry if we took money away from our groceries or from gas or from something like that because we overspent. To us personally, if we didn't track each thing, we would be freaking out a little bit, not knowing exactly where we are in the month. The second type of budget for a specific personality would be for somebody who's just a crazy spender. You don't have any self-control and you really don't care. And you know what? That's okay. You're probably not going to hear that very often. But since we know that about ourselves, we know that we can build a budget around that fact. Not to get all philosophical and professor on you, but there's a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And maybe in that chart, your needs of being free-spirited and being able to just spend when you feel like spending are higher on that chart than somebody else who can save or can constrict a little bit better. That's okay. We're not trying to change you. We're just trying to make your bank account a little bit happier. So you know you have terrible spending habits. You know you buy whatever you see. But at the end of the day, you will at least look at your bank account to see, okay, I have this amount of money. The problem is that when you see that amount of money, you just spend it all. So the best solution that I've found for this is to have two separate bank accounts. One bank account needs to be full of money for all the expenses that you know you're going to have that month, all the fixed expenses, things like rent or mortgage or insurance, even gas, and things that you just have a pretty good idea of how much you're going to spend each month. As far as the other bank account, that could be your fun account. Throw as much extra money in there as you feel that you need, and then you can just spend freely. If you want to spend all of that money on the second day of the month, go for it. But when that account dries up, you have to stop spending for the rest of the month. And now this third budget is for people who are kind of in the middle. You do really like to spend. You don't like to track every single dollar. You're kind of this person that thrives with goals. So maybe you're also not the type of person that just hits the gym regularly every single day.
Yeah, no, don't put me down for cardio.
But you will hit the gym or you will do something extra if you know you have a Spartan race coming up or if you're going to run a half marathon in 6 months. So if you can put a goal in place, you'll take steps towards it. So if you know that that's the type of person you are, then we need to do that exact same thing with your budget. So a couple simple goals that might really, really help you out could be something like starting an emergency fund, having this extra savings account that has about $1,000 in it. And so if you know you need to save for this and you say, all right, I want to have this thing fully funded within 3 months or within 6 months, then you know I need to put $100 away every month or $250 away every month or whatever. Nothing crazy. These shouldn't be the super lofty goals like I want to save up for a house. That's the next level. For now, we're just worried about the basics, getting you to a point that we can monitor the spending a bit, we can cut off a little bit of that excess, and we can get you to a solid goal. The next goal after an emergency fund would be having 2 to 3 months worth of expenses saved and put into another fund as well. You never know what's going to happen with the economy and just with anything crazy that's going on these days. If you lose your job, if your company decides to downsize, or you get hurt and you can't go to work, or somebody gets sick and you need to care for them and so you're not working as much, you want to be safe and have these expenses just saved up so that you have 3 months worth. So all of these budgets still need to have some type of understanding of what your expenses are per month. And I've made a couple videos on this on my channel and I'll link to them below. Basically, you need to look up what your needs are and what you actually pay for every single month and have that listed out. So again, your rent or your mortgage, your insurance, if you have a car payment, a student loan, anything like that that you just automatically have to pay every month, then make a category of all the wants or the things that maybe you want to spend on, but they're not necessarily needs, right? So maybe you have a Starbucks addiction. Maybe you have a Starbucks addiction, or you like to go out to see movies or things like that. Like, what else do you need to pad up your budget with? Should also be a little category called miscellaneous, and that's usually something like 5 or 10% of the whole budget. These types of things will help your mental health, along with making sure you're on a budget that's specifically for you. And once you get that mastered, then you can start listening to more of the investing things that I talk about on this channel, and that's where you start building some wealth that most people can only dream of. Let me know in the comment section below which type of person you are, what type of spender you are, and what type of budget you're going to do. Good luck, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.